Hi guys, welcome back to the MCM Buzz Stage. We are live in London from the Excel and we have two fantastic guests for you from Sky One's Hooten The Lady. Please welcome Michael Landers and Ophelia Lovibond. Good morning guys, it's so great to see you here.
Thank you. I've never been to one of these. It's quite cool.
Yeah, what do you think so far?
No, I'm good, thanks. Well, we just got here. I want to see more costumes. I want to go and see more costumes.
Yeah, absolutely. There will be a lot to see, definitely. It's nice to see you guys in a way looking so prim and proper, because normally we see you looking a little bit disheveled on the show. There.
Yeah, normally we're covered in grit and grime and sweat and animals and everything.
Yeah.
Is mine on? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's a fantastic show, a very adventurous show. I would say that people have likened it to things like Indiana Jones and Romancing the Stone, for those of us that are a little bit older. When you first read the script, what was the first TV show or movie that came to mind?
Romancing the Stone, exactly those two.
Yeah.
And then also, the tone of it did remind me of things like Private Benjamin. Like having that quite strong female figure who...
The Goldie Hawn type character.
And I'm a massive Goldie Hawn fan. I mean, who wouldn't be?
And Moonlighting, if you remember that show.
Yep, Sybil Shepherd.
But also the first episode that we read took place in the jungle, so it was familiar.
Yeah, it was
like
very
those
Indiana
things.
Jones.
But the whole
Yeah.
nature of the show is that every week we're in a different place. They're like individual films.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I've been to Egypt, Bhutan, Cambodia recently. Do you have a favorite sort of place from those?
My favourite was Cambodia, for sure. Yeah, it was
Mine
just
was, yeah.
the most magical place, and these temples that you're. I mean, we only filmed at a few, but everywhere you go, there are these 8th century temples that just people are walking around in, and they're just there. It was really incredible.
I agree with her, although we were towed around Rome on a Vespa with a police escort through every famous site in Rome.
And Red Square went to Russia, went to Moscow.
Right.
That was incredible.
Yeah, we were one of the only shows that have been allowed to shoot in Red Square or in I think definitely in the metro system in Moscow.
Yeah. Well, it was fantastic. So it sounds like you actually filmed in all those places, because I was wondering whether it was more a set or whether you really went there.
No, we went all over. A lot. We then would build extra things in. We did a lot of filming in South Africa, which was also incredible, and filmed in some of the jungles in Durban there and KwaZulu-Natal. So still travelled a lot around there. But no, we did go to.
Yeah.
Well, and people will ask, like, did you ever get to visit anywhere? But where we filmed is where you would choose to visit if you went to Moscow or Rome. We were at the Kremlin. We were in Red Square. Like, we spent 12 hours a day filming there. So
in the Sistine Chapel at one point.
we were at the Vatican.
Ish.
We weren't allowed to film the Sistine Chapel. I don't think the Pope would quite.
Come
allow
on, we
that,
were,
but,
Ophelia. We just chose not to. No.
We did film in the second oldest chapel though, which is in Caserta.
Near Naples in
Naples, yeah.
Caserta. It's the second largest.
Duomo.
What is Versailles?
Wrong place.
No, but what is it? What is Versailles? It's like what would you call it? A castle?
Chateau.
Chateau. It's the second largest
palace,
one in Europe.
actually.
A palace.
Yeah.
The second largest palace is where we were in Caserta. She doesn't understand, but I understood.
You're
what I was
explaining
gonna
for us. And when you're traveling so much, is there one particular thing that you like to take with you?
I actually always take a speaker so I can play my music wherever I am. That's the main thing. And because you have really early starts, like maybe 4 a.m. So you need something to get
Get yourself
wake
going.
yourself up. Yeah, it's good to bring
Do you
into
have
the
a
makeup
wake-up
truck.
song then?
Shame, Shame, Shame by Shirley and Company is pretty good. That's a pretty good one.
The sun rises at like 4 a.m. in Africa. We woke up very early, many times.
Yeah.
I just travel light. I collect air miles for a living. I don't know.
And on the show, we get to see you fighting alligators, climbing mountains, jumping off helicopters. How much of that stuff were you guys actually doing? Were you doing your own stunts at all?
We did a lot of our own stunts, yeah. Which was, for me, one of the main appeals of the show, is that the things that we were allowed to do, the things that didn't make the producers scream in terror, but we did have an amazing stunt team looking after us, and stunt doubles and things, and anything that was just required to too much of a skill set to actually perform it safely. But anything that they could teach us, all the stuff in the chapel, climbing up those ropes, that was what they taught us how to do it. We spent about 2 days learning how to do it.
We were up in the
the helicopter. We did lots of it. We learned how to, even things like the fight sequences, which look relatively simple, but actually you spend days learning how to look like you're getting a part, things like being flipped and landing on your back safely, because that's really not a fun thing to do if it goes wrong.
I can imagine.
And they would teach us how to do it over weeks and weeks, and then we'd perform this and then speed it up and then be able to do it at speed.
I was dying to do this job, but I didn't want to die to do the job, on the job.
That's a good way of putting it.
Nailed it.
No, but we had, I will say, the stunt guys do a lot of Tom Cruise's movies, and I would say he does a lot of his stunts,
Yes,
and
he
has
does,
the safest people. So I felt that much safer to push ourselves to do more than we normally would.
I thought you were going to say you felt like a bit of a Tom Cruise then.
No, I think he's on another
level.
I'm not hanging on the outside of a plane.
No.
I'm sitting inside with some warm nuts. I mean, that they served me.
Shush. Let's not go there.
And in the last episode, you're in a hot air balloon. So how did you film that scene?
We were up high.
So again, that was. How do we feel? We had to go to. That was quite a tricky sequence to plan, because I didn't realise that quite how perfect the weather condition needs to be.
Like, it's too windy in here right now.
This would be too. The aircon.
air
They'd be like,
conditioning-
no, it can't go up.
Because you don't land. You'll land. They're like, well, we won't be landing there. They won't fly with any bit of wind. But they were up. We didn't go up.
We couldn't go up because we had to film
A dialogue scene.
dialogue scenes while they did that. But,
So they hung us like
well,
higher
they put us
than
on this crane, this massive, great big crane, and this basket dangling.
Oh, really?
But you're still like, they have a crane that goes up 40 or 60 feet. So
Yeah.
you're up like higher than the Fantastic Beasts poster.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I take it you guys aren't scared of heights then?
No. So, I mean, I think it'd be a bit miserable if you were doing that
She
show.
would just tell me jokes all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
When you're there for 8 hours, you can hallucinate, and Ophelia would have great jokes.
Any fun anecdotes from set yet?
I feel like it's all anecdotes.
No, we put it on the spot. You're like, I mean, there were just even just ridiculous things where when you're performing a stunt, or even when you're running through a street or something, and there are people who obviously don't know you're filming, and they just, I don't know, just when you're filming in the general public, you can terrorize people.
But we also tried to keep the whole environment as light and fun as possible, because these crews were working so hard, and when you realize we're deep in a jungle, they're carrying camera equipment, lighting equipment, everything to help us do our job. So I think the whole environment on that set was as fun and as good of a time as we could make for everybody, so that they're...
It's really, we in the first episode when we filmed with that great big massive python, who was called Monty, original. The snake wrangler would, everyone was having, well, not everyone, but having him wrapped around their neck and kind of getting to play around,
Getting to know the snake?
Getting to know the snake. But they would think, it was never kind of doom and gloom. It was all very.
I have to take a picture of Deadpool.
Oh wow! They're making Deadpool too, aren't they?
Deadpool with a Hello Kitty backpack.
That's amazing.
Only at Comic-Con.
Okay, sorry.
But there were loads, and then we were filming the Russia episode, and there was a stunt in that where we had to go hold our breath. I had to go hold my breath and go underwater while a helicopter flew across. And we were filming that about 4 a.m.
In freezing water.
Freezing cold, and I couldn't wear a wetsuit because you would see it. So, there's. It's ridiculous. You're standing there in a prom dress, drenched with kind of this pool water in the middle of Africa, and you're just like, this is a ridiculous job. This is a weird way to earn a living.
Yeah.
And the snakes is I don't know if that's an anecdote, but we filmed in like KwaZulu-Natal, like the poisonous snake capital of Africa. And we had a great snake wrangler, and for some reason they thought I was afraid of snakes. So they would say, oh, we haven't seen anything today, or a couple of non-venomous snakes. And it turned out they caught like 37...
42 in 2 weeks. 42
like
snakes.
black mamba, like 5 black mambas and boom slang, where we were nowhere near A hospital.
Wow, that
Wow.
sounds scary. I'm going to cut the snake talk short there for my own personal well-being. And I'm going to see if you guys want to ask a question in the audience. Just stick your hands up. I'm going to come to you in just a moment. But firstly, we have to talk about the last episode because a lot changed there. We found out the big bad, Cain, and we met him, you fought him, and you killed him off in one episode. And I was wondering, where are you going to go next? Because I was kind of expecting him to be the big bad for the season.
Well,
What can you tell us?
You mean you were surprised that he was found and kind of got out of the picture so in one episode?
Right.
I think because it's expected that it would be
we also
this kind
built
of.
up that story, right?
The story was built up throughout the show, I think, to tell you more about Hooten's character than it being about the bad guy, if you know what I mean. And then
Right.
I think it's kind of expected that the bad guy thing might then continue on. Instead, it's different. He kind of meets his match, and then that's that. And then who knows who else might come out of the woodwork. I think it's just another take on it.
And I think the Tony Jordan who wrote, I think they didn't want to wallow in anything. They want to, this has happened, we get on with it, and now we're on to the next. I like that it doesn't.
I think it's supposed to be kind of more of a light relief show rather than a,
Yeah.
you know.
He's a
But
good
it
bad
was
guy,
good.
though.
He was good, I was going to say. He was very good. Okay, has anyone got a question out there? If you want to stick your hands up at all?
They can't
I think
hear
they're
you.
shy. Does anybody have a question?
Uh-oh, we got one.
Hi there.
Hi.
Did you learn any history whilst you were travelling around?
Did we? What, I didn't hear.
Did you learn any history while you were travelling around?
Yeah, loads actually. We had to for every single episode we would do a behind the scenes kind of VT, I guess it would be, and so we would have to learn a lot of the history and the facts that the episodes were based on. So you kind of inadvertently learn a lot about, we learned all about
The Fabergé
eggs and where they came from, and about the history.
Alexander's tomb missing and all the Greek.
Yeah.
Every episode was grounded in some truth. Obviously, for storytelling, they embellished it or fictionalized it a little bit, but they all had some truth to them, which we had to obviously learn.
And it's particularly my character because that is what she's interested in. So it would be a bit, I would want to know how to pronounce everything correctly and know what I was talking about. So yeah, we had to do quite a lot of research. Actually.
I had to learn to drink and fight and. Thank you.
With your characters as well, there's obviously some sort of developing bond between you, and
It's
you
a
said-
lovey bond.
I think so. Boom, boom. And I'm wondering, because obviously at the moment, Alex is engaged, but it seems that every time wedding is mentioned, she runs off with your character. And I have to wonder, is he fine with that? Is Ed okay with her running off with Hooten all the time? And what's
First
going
of
to
all,
happen
it's
next?
Farquhar. Not Ed. No, go on, you answer.
I mean, why wouldn't he be? I think it's not. If he wasn't, then she wouldn't want to marry him. He doesn't own her. She's not his property. So he trusts her, and she doesn't get to choose her job or him. She can have both.
Right.
It's not the 50s,
Are we going to see more of their relationship there? Because so far we don't really know much about Ed.
You will, but again, I think that was something that Tony Jordan and I were definitely, the creator, were very much on the same page about from the beginning, was that it's just too reductive that you see that she would have to choose. Why does she have to choose? She can have both. She's just kind of, it's not the fiance that she's running away from. It's the kind of the hoo-ha that comes with it, and the big.
He's a vet.
He's a vet?
A veterinarian, right?
You're making up his
She wanted to know
backstory.
more. No,
Sounds
you wanted
good.
to know more about him. He's not a veteran.
No.
He's
A veterinary surgeon.
what?
A veterinary surgeon?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
You find out more about the relationship. I think it was very much the emphasis wasn't going to be on her relationship. It was going to be on what fires her up.
Yeah. Okay, interesting.
I agree. Ophelia Lovibond.
And finally, I have to ask you, Michael, When I mentioned to my friend that you were coming on our stage, the first thing she said to me was Jimmy Olsen. Would you say that's still your sort of most recognizable role, especially somewhere like Comic-Con?
Yeah, you know, I'm very flattered that I was here yesterday and to realize how many people watched that show. And I always joke that I did a superhero show when it wasn't cool to do a superhero show. Now they're all the rage. Yeah, I was more surprised, but super flattered. And that was a long time ago, and I had a lot of fun. And now apparently the characters from that show are on Supergirl, like Dean Cain, who played Superman, is Supergirl's dad.
Have you seen the new Jimmy Olsen, Mehcad Brooks?
I did a movie with Mehcad Brooks, but I haven't seen his portrayal of Jimmy Olsen, so I love him, and he's a great guy. But but since coming here, I want to go back and watch. My son watches Flash, but I should watch Supergirl. Yeah. I will tune into some Supergirls.
That's brilliant, and we hopefully will tune into lots more Hooten The Lady. Any news on a season 2 at all?
Not yet, but our producer's sat over there, so go and pester him about it.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for talking to us. It's been great having you here. Everyone give a big round of applause to Ophelia Lovibond and Michael Landers.
Thank you.
Hold you close throughout the night. Everything will be alright. Tonight we're gonna get it right. Everything will be alright. I'll hold you close throughout the night. Everything will be alright. Tonight we're gonna get it right. Days like these, you're my best friend. Days like these, this love could never end. You drive me crazy, can't you see? There's days where you're my worst enemy. Like these, days like days like these.
Good afternoon, MCM Comic Con. How are you? Guys, hello! Hello! Hello from the bus stage, how are we? Come on, guys, how are we? Yes! Jesse McClure and Blakey from British Treasure American Gold is going to be on this stage in about 5 to 10 minutes' time. Get on this stage, it's going to be absolutely crazy. These guys really, really love to have fun, and we want you to have fun with us. So come on this stage in about 5 to 10 minutes, and let's get cracking, all right? As well, guys, we've got a Bean Boozled challenge coming up right now. So if you want to win some free swag, come down to this stage and win some free swag. All you've got to do is step up on this stage, take a bean, try it, and we'll give you a prize. So if you want to win some prizes right now, in the next 2 minutes, or now, sit down. It's going to be crazy from here on in, guys. Jesse is on his way, Blakey is on his way from British Treasure American Gold. Who wants to come up on stage and do the Bean Boozled challenge and win some merch? 1, 2, I need loads more. I need absolutely loads. You're on my radar, you're on my radar. Come and sit down, man. You've got to come and sit down here and win some prizes. All these prizes have been given to us by Universal, guys. It's Ouija, yeah, the latest film that's come out, the latest horror film. That came out last week, guys. We have loads of merch to give away. Sit down, relax, and once I go to the back and come back with Bean Boozled and some prizes, we are going to kick off, all right? We'll see you in a couple of moments, guys.